Hi, my name is Swarnika Dikshit, and today I am going to talk about system change and community solutions for climate justice. So, firstly, we are going to talk about which community led climate solutions deserve wider support. As per my thinking, community led seed banks, local renewable energy cooperatives, and indigenous land stewardship, they need wider support. They protect food systems, create green jobs, and restore ecosystems with local knowledge instead of top down plans. When communities lead, projects are trusted, cost effective, and long lasting. Next, if I would build a consultation group led by people who are affected, I would build a people powered climate council that will consist of majority people from impacted communities. Secondly, it would have real decision making power and not just advice. Transparent decision, budget decisions will be made. Paid participation so low income voices aren't excluded. Clear accountability will be given. The council's decision must be publicly tracked. Thirdly, what evidences persuades decision makers and how should we collect it? There are three kind of evidences that change minds. Firstly, community collected data like heat mapping, water quality testing, flood reports are the ones that comes into that. Secondly, economic evidences, and thirdly, lived experiences, testimonies like stories backed by data. We collect that data from open source digital tools, youth citizen science, and community surveys. A cross sector collaboration that could scale change is a climate resilience hub network led by communities, funded by government, and supported by businesses. Community groups run neighborhood energy and food programs. Local governments provides land and long-term funding. Businesses offer tech training and apprenticeship on the conditions that community control, fair funding, and transparency will be there. Next is how can community owned assets create lasting fairness? For an instance, one example is community solar cooperatives. By that, residents co own solar power. That reduces bills and earning shared income. This builds energy independence and keeps the wealth within the community instead of leaving to the corporation. Next is how can community owned assets create lasting fairness? For an instance, one example is community solar cooperatives. By that, residents co own solar power. That reduces bills and earning shared income. This builds energy independence and keeps the wealth within the community instead of leaving to the corporation. If you would ask me what barriers to service would I remove or add, so I would remove complicated forms, English only information, and high costs. I would add multilingual services, youth navigators, mobile advice clinics, and no wrong doors access. Help shouldn't depend on who you ask first. Fair systems are easy to use. So, if you would ask me the best communication advice for mobilization, I would go with hope based storytelling. Our community is building solutions. Real life examples are not just abstract policy talks. Youth led voices that could be more relatable. Narratives about fairness. Everyone deserves safety from climate harm. Language that empowers, not overwhelms. So, if someone will ask me which policy changes would immediately impact or improve basic rights, my top priority would be long term funding directly to frontline communities, youth, and indigenous groups, not only the big institutions. Next is stronger heat and housing safety standards, universal access to climate resilient water and safety, climate education for all young people. Policy must protect dignity, health, and opportunity. To measure tracking this, that if system change worked or not, we should not only focus on short-term outputs, we should go with the long-term fairness indicators. For instance, we could go ahead with the reduced climate-related health impacts, lower energy and food insecurity, increased youth and employment and training, rising community ownership of assets, trust and participation in decisions. Fairness is measurable when people's lives improve sustainably. One policy reform that I could propose to the leaders is to establish a national community climate fund that gives direct grant to grassroots youth community groups, funds multi-year project, not short pilots, prioritizes low-income, migrant, and climate-impacted neighborhoods, and requires government to co-decide with community committees. This reform empowers local leadership, build resilience, and shift power to people closest to solutions. System change isn't just a policy, it's shifting power. Youth and frontline committee aren't the future, we are the right now. Supporting grassroots leadership is how we build a fair, climate safe society together.